The game concept began with a team member, Ephraim, proposed an app idea, the prototype of which was a 2D app. It was difficult for the team to envision how we would transition from 2D to 3D. We used Miroboard to conduct user research, and we used the empathy map to interview Ephraim to understand his vision. Using Miro, we researched similar projects and research studies, created a design document, shared the narrative generated by Novel AI, a GPT-3 powered storytelling platform, and created a storyboard with various sections. All our meetings took place in Horizon workrooms. To make informed decisions and to eliminate bias from the user experience design process, some team members attended a neurodiversity event in Altspace. It took us some time to develop the initial game concept with a narrative. Finally, each team member was assigned a scene based on the storyboard we created.
For the development process, I will talk about coding and modeling. Coding. GitHub was used so we could code together. C# was the language used. We set goals and made tasks organized in the GitHub Kanban project board to keep on track. We agreed to all work on our own scenes to isolate our code and then code in teleportation between scenes towards the end of the project. We also used prefabs as much as possible. However, we did not follow the advice of having only one person work on the project at a time, so we unfortunately suffered from a merge conflict and lost almost a full week's time. After recovering from that, we just did the best we could to finalize everything. Modeling. Our initial project structure was built in Unity as separate scenes. We then built out our scenes using a combination of finding free models online, using free models and customizing them in Blender, making completely custom models in Blender, and also using purchased models from Sketchfab and the Unity store.
The Beautiful Mind VR app team reflected on the challenges we faced in creating the Beautiful Mind VR app. The most prevalent challenge was time constraints. We spent a significant amount of time conducting research on ADHD, including reviewing peer-reviewed articles, white papers, existing VR apps suggested for people with ADHD, especially adults, attending ADHD support group meetings, etc. The next challenge was developing the scenes and scripting some objects. There were issues with some assets that did not perform well in Unity Engine. The team came together and used some of our Blender modeling skills to replace those assets. Some box colliders took significant time to resolve. The team's major challenge was significant error messages with GitHub regarding merging. This took some time to resolve as some of us had to recreate our scenes more than once. Also, we all live in different time zones and work full-time. We moved to schedule to accommodate them as well as holidays. Due to running out of time in the course, there are some scenes that need more work to complete or improve. It is important to note that the idea for this app project came from one of the group members. We took time to find out what he envisioned the app to be. He provided us with his website, etc. We used this information, along with the research mentioned, to develop an adventure-like app where the player must navigate through various scenes and complete various tasks to get a reward found in the last scene. However, the teammate who brought us his idea for the app was not happy as he wanted a productivity app to help him better organize his life, and not a game. However, he decided to move forward with the team's vision of the Adventure VR app.
Our approach to making future modifications to our app starts by addressing immediate issues highlighted by our peers. We have taken your feedback seriously, and so we are organizing issues into categories so that we can assign them to a single person or to a small group of individuals within our team. For solving more advanced programming issues, we may need to consider obtaining support from outside our group. Keeping key features consistent throughout the app experience is something we are aware, as is the case with the wristwatch. Instructions for each scene need to display on the wristwatch. However, in some circumstances, selecting the portal icon from the watch to the next scene need to appear only after completing a specific task. For instance, the office scene needs to include more items for the user to prioritize before moving on to the next stage of the app. Again, here, the watch should prompt access to the next scene only after the user has completed prioritizing the given task. We acknowledge that our app needs better programming. In the Guardian of Reflections, for instance, the user lacks interactivity with the crystals. In this scene, the player is supposed to collect each crystal and listen to audio feedback. Moreover, in the air balloon scene, a navigation menu is a key feature needed embedded into the wristwatch. Apart from modifying and testing the app some more, we certainly want better usability for the app and possibly even consider publishing the app.